Your mind has been trained to react, not to respond. You chase every distraction, you absorb every emotion, and then you wonder why you feel exhausted. But here's the truth. You don't need more motivation. You need mental rewiring. Because once your mind obeys you, emotions stop controlling you. This audiobook is not about hype. It's about building an unshakable mind. So listen closely, because from this moment on, your emotions work for you, not against you.
Focus is a skill, not a gift. You weren't born distracted. You were trained to be. Every notification, every scroll, every open tab, they've rewired your brain to crave stimulation instead of progress. You think you've lost focus, but the truth is simpler. You've just trained your mind to wander. And that means you can train it back. Focus is not talent. Focus is training. Focus is muscle memory. That's the key. Every time you choose to sit still, you're building it. Every time you finish what you start, you're strengthening it. Every time you silence the noise and face the work, you're proving that focus is earned, not gifted. Most people talk about motivation. They wait to feel ready. But here's the truth. Motivation fades. Focus doesn't. Motivation is emotion. Focus is discipline. And discipline wins long after emotion disappears. You don't need more time. You need less distraction. You don't need more energy. You need more direction. You don't need their permission to focus. You just need to decide you're done being scattered. Start training your focus like an athlete trains their body. Every day, give it a workout. Set a timer for 25 minutes. No music, no phone, no noise. One task, one goal, one zone. That's a focus rep. Do it again tomorrow, and again the next day, and again until your brain learns that silence isn't boredom, it's power. You are rewiring your attention span, one rep at a time. You have a choice: chase distractions or build direction. That's the line between average and unstoppable. Understand this: your attention is your most valuable currency. Whoever controls it controls you. Your phone wants it, your fears want it, other people's opinions want it, and you've been giving it away for free. It's time to take it back. Because when you lose focus, you lose everything: clarity, consistency, peace. And when you master focus, everything else aligns: your emotions, your energy, your confidence. Focus is the foundation. Start small. When your mind drifts, bring it back. When you want to quit, stay one more minute. When you want to check your phone, don't. That's the rep. That's the practice. That's how you rewire your brain. You're not lazy. You're overstimulated. You're not unmotivated. You're unfocused. And that's the difference between weakness and discipline: attention. Do you know why most people never build focus? Because they never sit still long enough to feel uncomfortable. They run from silence. They avoid stillness. But silence is where your mind sharpens. Stillness is where clarity lives. When the noise fades, you meet yourself, and that's uncomfortable. That's why people stay distracted. It's easier to escape yourself than to face yourself. But not you, not anymore. You're choosing to sit in silence until your mind listens. You're choosing depth over dopamine. You're choosing focus over noise. That's the rewiring process. Remember this: every distraction costs you double: your time and your control. Every time you check that notification, you're telling your brain that instant relief is more important than long-term progress. You're teaching your mind to chase crumbs instead of creating bread. You have to reverse that training. You have to reprogram your reward system. You do that by withholding the hit, by staying on task even when it burns. That's not punishment, that's power. Focus is not about doing more. It's about doing less better. It's not about being busy. It's about being present. And presence is built through discipline. So train it, protect it, guard it like it's your life, because it is. You want emotional control? Build focus first, because a scattered mind is a reactive mind, and a reactive mind can never be calm. That's the secret no one tells you. You've mastered your pause. Now you're mastering your focus. The mind is learning to obey. But there's still one chain holding you back: your need for approval. You can't stay focused while you're performing for others. You can't control your mind while you're chasing validation. You've learned how to control emotion. You've learned how to build focus. Now it's time to cut the noise that steals both.
Detach from the noise of approval. You don't even realize how much of your peace you've traded for approval. Every like, every comment, every nod from someone who doesn't even live your life. That's the currency most people live on, and it's making them broke inside. You think you're chasing success, but you're not. You're chasing validation. You're performing instead of becoming. You're addicted to being seen, not to becoming strong. Here's the truth. Every time you seek approval, you surrender control. Every time you wait for permission, you weaken your own authority. And every time you bend to please others, you silence your own direction. You have a choice. You always do. You can live for applause, or you can live for alignment. But you can't do both. The world rewards noise. It celebrates display. But discipline doesn't need an audience. Growth doesn't need applause. You don't need their permission to be focused, calm, or silent. Most people can't stand silence because silence exposes them. They need noise to feel relevant. They need attention to feel alive. But you're learning to detach. Detachment is not arrogance. It's independence. It's the ability to walk alone and still feel complete. It's the decision to measure yourself by progress, not praise. You've been conditioned to believe that success is visible. It's not. Real success is invisible. It's the quiet consistency no one sees. It's the work you do when no one's clapping. It's the peace you protect when the world provokes you. You want to rewire your mind? Then start by starving your need for attention. Stop broadcasting your every move. Stop explaining your silence. Stop trying to prove your worth to people who can't see your value. Because the moment you stop performing, your mind finds power again. You start working in peace instead of pressure. You start moving with intention instead of reaction. That's focus. That's emotional control. Repeat this. I am not here to be seen. I am here to become. Say it again and again until your mind believes it more than it believes their opinions. You see, attention is a trap disguised as validation. It feels good. It feels safe. But the more you chase it, the more you depend on it. And dependence kills growth. When you live for approval, you die by rejection. Detach. Pull your energy back. Be okay with being misunderstood, unseen, and underestimated. Because in that quiet space, you'll find the only voice that matters, your own. You have to understand, silence is a weapon. It protects your focus. It builds your confidence. It resets your emotions. That's why the loud are often lost and the quiet are always in control. When you detach from the noise, you start hearing clarity. You stop chasing reactions and start building results. You realize the crowd doesn't build you. Your discipline does. So practice detachment daily. When you post, don't check the numbers. When you speak, don't wait for validation. When you work, don't seek recognition. Do it because it's aligned, not because it's applauded. And when people misunderstand your calm as weakness, smile, because they're revealing who still depends on chaos. You've moved on. You've chosen inner wealth over outer attention. That's the mindset of the unshakable, the detached, the disciplined. You're no longer trying to be liked. You're trying to be limitless. You're no longer proving, you're improving. You're no longer chasing, you're choosing. That's the rewiring. That's emotional independence. So remember this. Approval is noise. Validation is a distraction. Peace is the prize. And you don't need permission to protect it. You've learned how to control emotion. You've built the muscle of focus. And now you've cut the cord of approval. But what happens when pain hits? When life pushes you harder than ever before? That's where the next chapter begins. The transformation through adversity.
Turn pain into precision. Pain isn't your enemy, it's your instructor. It doesn't come to destroy you, it comes to direct you. But most people run from it. They avoid it, numb it, or hide it. And that's why they never grow. Pain exposes what's weak. It points to what's broken. It reveals what still controls you. And that's the gift, because you can't fix what you won't face. Listen carefully. You will either use your pain or your pain will use you. That's the choice. That's the key. Every successful person you admire, every calm, grounded, focused individual, they've learned how to convert pain into data. They stopped asking, why me? And started asking, what is this teaching me? That's the rewiring. That's emotional control in motion. You think you're suffering because something's wrong with you. You're not. You're suffering because something in you is being sharpened. Pain is the process. Discomfort is the forge. When life hits you, breathe. When people betray you, observe. When failure burns, don't react. Analyze. Ask yourself, where did I lose awareness? What do I need to strengthen? That's how you turn emotion into precision. You have a choice. You can be emotional about the pain or intentional with it. You can cry about it or you can study it. It's not about comfort. It's about discipline. That's the difference between being broken and being built. Every setback carries a message. Every wound contains a lesson. And if you avoid the pain, you miss the information. You stay stuck repeating what you refuse to understand. Most people want the strength but not the struggle. They want the result but not the resistance. But resistance is what builds you. It's what forces you to evolve. And the sooner you accept that, the faster you'll grow. Pain is not punishment. It's a mirror. It shows you where you're still emotional, where you're still reactive, where you still need mastery. That's the point of pressure. It reveals who you are when comfort leaves. Repeat this. This pain is my data. This focus is my weapon. Say it again, until your brain stops fearing discomfort and starts feeding on it. Because pain is energy, and you control where that energy goes. When you feel hurt, use that energy to work. When you feel betrayed, use it to build. When you feel rejected, use it to rise. That's emotional alchemy, turning pain into precision. Understand this. Pressure doesn't break you. It exposes your structure. If your structure is weak, it cracks. If it's strong, it expands. So build the structure through habits, through patience, through self-command. The next time life hurts, don't numb it, name it. Don't escape it, examine it. What is this teaching you about your reactions, your boundaries, your focus? Because pain always leaves a clue. It always reveals what needs work. That's how elite minds think. They don't waste suffering, they invest it. They use it to refine their mindset, strengthen their systems, and deepen their discipline. You don't grow through comfort. You grow through confrontation with your limits, your fears, your excuses. That's how the mind rewires. So stop asking for easy days. Ask for clarity in hard ones. Stop praying for lighter loads. Start building stronger shoulders. That's the transformation. Because when you learn to move through pain with calm precision, the world loses its power over you. You stop fearing chaos. You stop panicking at loss. You stop being emotional about life and start being strategic. Pain is not the opposite of peace. Pain is the pathway to it. Once you understand that, nothing can shake you again. So the next time you feel pain, pause, observe, extract the lesson, channel the energy, then move with precision. That's how warriors are built. That's how emotional masters are forged. You've learned to control your emotions. You've built your focus. You've detached from approval. And now you've turned your pain into precision. But there's one more step, the final stage of rewiring. It's where everything comes together. It's where you command your mind completely. Because strength means nothing if your mind still disobeys you. You've learned to endure. Now it's time to command.
Build a mind that obeys you. You've controlled your emotions. You've built focus. You've detached from noise. You've turned pain into precision. Now comes the final test, mastering the mind itself. Because all the strength, all the knowledge, all the discipline, it means nothing if your mind still disobeys you. A scattered mind will sabotage a strong body. An undisciplined mind will destroy a disciplined plan. The real victory is this: when your mind listens to you. When you say focus and it obeys. When you say stop and it stops. When you say move and it moves even when you don't feel like it. That's mental mastery. That's power. That's freedom. Most people live like prisoners of their own thoughts.
They think they're making choices, but really they're reacting to impulses. Their mind says scroll, and they scroll. It says delay, and they delay. It says quit, and they obey. And then they wonder why they never move forward. But you're done being a slave to impulse. You're done being ruled by moods. You're building a mind that takes orders from you, not the other way around. That's the rewiring process. That's what this entire journey has been preparing you for. You don't train your mind with words, you train it with action. Every time you wake up when you said you would, you're programming obedience. Every time you do what you said you'd do, you're reinforcing control. Every time you stay calm when chaos hits, you're proving mastery. That's the formula. Discipline goes to repetition, goes to obedience. You don't need permission. You don't need perfect conditions. You just need consistency. Because the brain doesn't listen to wishes. It listens to patterns, and patterns are built through repetition. Repeat your values daily until they become reflex. Repeat your purpose until it's louder than your doubts. Repeat your calm until your mind knows peace as the default state. You want to control your mind? Then stop negotiating with it. Stop arguing with excuses. Stop delaying discipline. The mind loves comfort. Starve it. The mind fears discomfort. Feed it. That's the process of rewiring. When the alarm rings, get up. When it's time to work, focus. When emotions rise, breathe. When excuses whisper, move. Do it automatically, do it decisively. That's not rigidity, that's command. Because your mind doesn't respond to motivation, it responds to identity. And every disciplined action is a vote for a new identity. You're not trying to be focused anymore, you are focused. You're not trying to stay calm, you are calm. You've trained for this, you've earned this. Understand this, the mind is like a wild horse. If you let it run where it wants, it will destroy everything in its path. But if you train it, guide it, and master it, it will carry you anywhere you want to go. That's your mission now, mastery through repetition. Build systems, build rituals, build habits that make discipline automatic. Start your day before the world starts speaking. Sit in silence before the noise begins. Command your thoughts before they command you. That's how leaders think. That's how unshakable minds are built. Remember, emotions are temporary, but discipline is permanent. Motivation fades, but mental command lasts. You don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. So build systems that reflect strength, not weakness. When you say, "I'll do it later," hear it as, "I'm losing control." When you say, "I'll start tomorrow," hear it as, "My mind is still the master." No more. From today, you are the commander. You give the order, your mind obeys. You don't chase focus anymore. You embody it. You don't seek emotional control, you own it. You don't look for peace, you create it. That's mental freedom. That's what this entire journey was for. You are no longer ruled by emotions. You are no longer distracted by noise. You are no longer broken by pain. You've built a mind that listens, obeys, and acts without hesitation, without doubt, without fear. And when the world tries to shake you, it won't find a reaction. It'll find silence, focus, discipline, precision. Because now, your mind doesn't lead you, you lead it. And that's the highest form of power. You've completed the rewiring. You've built an unshakable mind. Now go, lead it, and live it, and never hand back control.
Stop letting your emotions lead you. You've spent most of your life reacting. Something happens. Someone disrespects you. Life throws a problem your way, and instantly you explode, withdraw, or break down. You think you're making a choice, but you're not. You're following an emotional command. And that's why you keep losing control. Your emotions are reactions, not instructions. They are signals, not steering wheels. The problem is, you've been letting them drive. Every time you lash out, every time you shut down, every time you quit, it's not because you're weak. It's because you never learned to pause. That pause, that tiny space between the trigger and your response, that's where your power lives. That's the key.
That's where emotional control is built. You see, your emotions are ancient survival mechanisms. They're built to protect, not to lead. Anger wants to defend you. Fear wants to warn you. Sadness wants to slow you down so you can recover. But when you let them lead, they overprotect. They make you overreact, and you sabotage yourself. So how do you stop letting emotions lead? You learn the power of the pause. You learn the one breath rule. When emotion hits, stop. One breath. Just one. In through the nose, out through the mouth. That single breath is your bridge from reaction to awareness. It's the moment your mind regains command. You can't control the first emotion, but you can always control the next action. That's the difference between the impulsive and the powerful, between the weak and the wise. You have a choice, always. That's what emotional control is, the ability to choose your response instead of being dragged by it. You don't need their apology. You don't need the situation to change. You need discipline. Say this to yourself. I feel it, but I don't follow it. Say it again and again until it becomes automatic. Because that phrase, that mindset, rewires your brain. It trains your nervous system to observe instead of obey. It turns emotion into information, not instruction. That's mastery. That's power. When someone tries to provoke you, don't react. When fear whispers that you'll fail, don't stop. When doubt floods your mind, don't retreat. Just breathe, just pause, just watch it pass. Because here's the truth. Emotions fade, always. But your reaction can create damage that lasts years. You can lose relationships, opportunities, even your self-respect, not because of what happened, but because of how you reacted. Stop letting your emotions write stories your discipline could have rewritten. Stop letting your moods decide your movement. Stop letting feelings interrupt your focus. You are not your anger. You are not your anxiety. You are not your impulse. You are the observer behind them, and the observer always has control. That's the key. Control is not about suppressing emotions. It's about managing them. It's about hearing the noise and choosing silence. It's about feeling the heat and staying cool. You want freedom? Master the pause. You want peace? Stop following every feeling. You want power? Rewire your emotional reflexes. The world will keep testing you. People will trigger you on purpose. Situations will try to pull you out of character. But you're done reacting. You're done giving away control. From now on, when emotions rise, breathe, pause, and observe. Because the one who stays calm wins. The one who pauses leads. The one who feels but doesn't follow, that's the one who's free. You've just learned the first rule of rewiring your mind. Your emotions don't lead. Your discipline does. You've mastered the pause. Now let's move deeper, because emotions are only the surface. The real war is for your focus.
The final challenge, live it. Silence is not weakness, it's proof of control. The world will test you, people will provoke you, life will shake you again and again. And in those moments, you'll have two choices: react like the old you or respond like the new you. Remember, every reaction is a decision. Every pause is power. Every breath is control. You've trained your mind to obey. You've learned to stand still when chaos screams. You've learned to act without emotion, to move without noise, to lead without applause. That's rare. That's strength. That's the kind of man or woman who builds quietly and wins loudly. From this moment on, your silence is your armor. Your focus is your weapon. Your discipline is your freedom. Don't explain your change. Embody it. Don't seek validation. Earn it through consistency. Don't chase peace. Become it. Because while they waste words, you'll build results. While they doubt you, you'll build proof. While they chase noise, you'll protect your calm. That's the challenge. To live everything you've learned, to stay unshaken when the world tries to pull you back into chaos. So the next time life whispers react, you'll smile, breathe, and remember, you've already won because your mind belongs to you now.